This podcast is brought to you by the Podtower, hosted by the Watchtower database. Visit youtube.com/thepodtower for informative, hilarious DC animation-themed podcasts and live streams every week. And check out the Watchtower database for DCAU video essays, timelines, fan theories, and more. And please, enjoy the show.
Three, two, 1, 0, -1, -2, -3.
-3, -4, minus... Oh. -6, -7, Just keep going. Don't ever stop. That's the whole podcast.
You know what? If people listen to
the 3 hour
long, like maybe they wouldn't listen to us.
They'll listen to anything. -7, -8, -9, -10, -11, How far can we... I had a good... I never turned it into a video because it would have been way too complicated, but I wanted to redo the Mambo number 5 music video years and years ago.
Wait, let me guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I think it got to 555 or something by the end.
Really?
That was the a really nice number to end on because he goes just 555 at the very end of the song.
Jamie, I'm impressed.
Yeah. Let's do it right now. Okay. Who let the dogs out, man? That's something else. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
We're the Baja Men, and that's who does that song at all. But
no, we're not. We're not
Vega,
the Baja. Don't
What is
lie.
his name? What is his name? Vega something? Mambo number 5.
Vega, the guy from Street Fighter 2.
Lou Vega. Yeah, Vega.
Lou Vega from Street Fighter 2.
It's hyphenated. He's from Krypton, actually.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Well, this is... I haven't even started yet, man. People don't even know what the fuck they're listening to.
Maybe we started at -3.
Yeah, we sure did. This is episode 88 of Jump on the Bat-Wagon.
But episode 4
of Superman. This is Superman the Animated Series. Fun and games. That's what we're watching today. I'm James from the Watchtower Database YouTube channel. This is Brian.
And I'm Brian.
This podcast. And I'm here to show him the entire DC animated universe from start to finish in the controversial airdate order for his very first time watching any of this shit.
Are our diction, are our voices different enough that I'm James and I'm Brian, but during the run, do you think people discern that?
Well, we know now that nobody knew what you looked like. So I think they just think it's two me's. Yeah.
I really want to know what people think I look like. I know we talked about
in
the
the
police
witness
sketch thing.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that wide angle photo, because it was kind of a small room.
You were closer to the camera. Bar. I also rotate 3D rotated the image a little bit to try to make us less different sized, but it still just kind of optical illusioned you to being this giant man. Yeah. You are taller than me, but only by a couple inches, not a foot.
Yeah.
I'm slouching.
That's something that I do kind of I don't know, have this weird fascination of wanting to meet the listener and taking a photo with us on either side of the listener, which I think we might have done with Tip Tapricot.
No, I have not. I have not taken a Tip Tapricot photo.
Oh,
we got.
I guess it was just me then.
Yes, but you are still humongous. Yeah,
that's this kind of thing. I don't know. It'd just be funny because you're also a tall guy.
Yeah.
I think when you get several inches over 6 feet, you become a tall guy. That being said, we are taller than the average listener.
This is how I learned, or I didn't realize how small Ted was until meeting him in person.
Ted's not that small, right?
I mean, he's not small. I know he's listening to this.
He's got to be 5'8", right?
Ted, text me your actual height, not your exaggerated height that you tell girls at parties, your real one, and we can compare.
Everybody does that.
Everybody does that, yeah.
I've actually got several buddies, now that I think about it, who claim to be 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
And like it's anywhere from like dudes who are
5'10",
like
5'11".
5'9", 5'10", 5'11", saying
My
6 feet.
dad has always owned that he's 5'11". Like he doesn't try to push it. So.
Is he 5'11"?
I think so. I mean, at least that's what he says.
He's
I've never
5'8",
checked.
5'9".
I've never measured him. We recommend you watch today's DCAU episode before listening to this podcast.
Wait,
Get
are
the
we
full
doing a
experience out of our
podcast?
discussion. Whoopsie. I can't make you do that, but I can make Brian do that. At the time of this recording, Superman the Animated Series is streaming on
11:40.
Max.
11:40 a.m.
I was trying to get through it as fast as I could without you.
I know, but I
couldn't
do it. I gotta do it.
11:40
And I'm
a.m.
Brian.
It's streaming on Max.
Do you know my voice?
Brian's Dog, and available on DVD and Blu-ray. Yes, so today we're watching Fun and Games, which you guessed was Superman versus Fun Man. I said it was really close. It is really close. This originally aired Friday, September 7th, 1996, 10 a.m. Kids WB. We skipped one day from the last one. It was the very
Adults
next day.
WB. Are we going to
Adults
talk about?
WB.
Are we going to talk about the elephant that's not quite in the room?
Itch is what? Which is who?
We're going to have Dylan Pollack on.
Oh
today.
my goodness, we are.
He's not on at the moment.
He's
but
sitting
if you,
right
like,
next to me with a
see
gun. What?
Have you seen that meme of like, this is my girlfriend and it's my birthday?
No.
Have you seen that? Okay, I gotta send you a thing. It is like one of those
Describe
bits
a
where
meme in voice to me right now.
I absolutely won't be, other than to say like it starts off with something like that. This over-exaggerated guy standing like awkwardly holding this girl who seems like I'm fine being here. Everything's okay. And then the internet just grabbed on, so they like start with one person.
Yes,
You have seen this.
Yes, I have, and it just keeps like layering in more
expanding,
and more. Yes,
and more and more
definitely
people
have seen
add
it.
more to it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Any listener who wants to see a ridiculous meme, just like hit up my DMs or whatever, and I'll be happy to send it your way.
Brian sends you ridiculous memes. That's his role on the podcast.
Now, just $20 a month.
And I'm Brian. yeah. Just $20 a day for Brian to send you a meme.
For $20 a day, I will send you 100 memes every day.
Nice.
$20 a day. That's it. It's a good rate. That's like how many cents
40
per
cents
meme?
a meme, something. I don't know.
I was going to say 40 cents, but that didn't sound
It didn't
right
sound
when I was about
right
to
when
say
I
it.
said it, actually.
Yeah.
This is written by Robert N. Skier and Marty Eisenberg, who were the same team up on his Silicon Soul, What is Reality, and Lockup. Directed by Kazuhide Tomonaga. This is a brand new one, of course, because I've never said that in my entire life. He's a director on Lupin the Third, Cyber 6, and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood past this. So, could be a good one.
You had me at Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
That's the last thing I said. He was an actual hands-on animator on a few other Superman and Batman episodes coming up, and a few episodes of Animaniacs, but mostly a ton of Lupin the Third stuff. Like his IMDb was just Lupin the Third this, Lupin the Third that. So still
I
good
have
stuff.
no idea what that is.
You don't? It's a Miyazaki-ish anime. I think that's a Miyazaki thing. I'm probably wrong. The listener, Dylan Pollack, is screaming at me. Music is by Christopher Carter, who previously wrote the music for Lockup and Catwalk. And animation by Tokyo Movie Shinsha.
Oh, been a while since we had TMS.
Yeah. They previously animated Feet of Clay Part 2, Two-Face Part 1, Fear of Victory, or Suddenly There Came a Robin, The Demon's Quest, and Read My Lips, as well as the Sega CD Cutscenes. Which
is the best art we've had.
Yes, it is.
To date.
Yeah. We're going to go watch the episode, and we'll have Dylan Pollack, and we'll all kiss.
Oh, hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Nice going. We scored big time.
Hello, boys.
Huh?
Who's that? I'm ever so sorry to spoil your nice celebration, but I have a very important message for your boss, Mr. Mannheim. Please tell him the Toy Man is calling time out on his little games, and don't be tardy.
Grab Pinocchio before he gets out. Hey, get back
Hey, Dylan.
Hi, Dylan.
Hello. I'm back again so soon.
So long since you've been here, yeah. Everyone was just like, man, when are they bringing Dylan Pollack back? We're clamoring for your reappearance, and
I want to believe that that's an actual thing that happened, because that makes me feel nice.
oh, yeah, sure, it was.
You're not selling it very well, James.
Happy birthday in person. Happy belated birthday, I suppose.
Yeah, I was listening to it on the flight back yesterday. I was like, this is so nice.
We were just talking about before we brought you in about how maybe we would read the official synopsis first, because it's just one sentence these days, and then have you do the synopsis afterward to tell us what really happened, which is kind of the opposite of what's we've done in the past, you see. Wait, that's not the right. Hang on. There we go. Jeez. Oh my goodness. I know. Everyone think that was. Wouldn't that be funny? Let it die down here.
That's too much laughter.
Okay, so the official synopsis.
So that's the thing that gets me is like, now we have the regular, and then you're going to hit the synyop button, and then
Yes.
we do the synyop?
Yeah, we're testing the waters, okay?
Okay, let's
It's like
test
a big
'em.
old duck spoofing out of it. The official synopsis. Superman rescues Metropolis thug Bruno Mannheim and Lois from the vengeful Toyman. That's it. And now, Dylan, if you would provide us with the synopsis.
Synyop, synyop. If you're wondering, synyop, synyop. What you just watched, synyop, synyop. Take a listen to the synopsis. The short summary, which is sometimes kind of long.
I mean, anything is longer than that synopsis is, but
The synopsis song is longer than the official synopsis.
does it start with the henchman? Brian, don't be doing this right now.
This is all you. I'm just trying to,
Brian,
I'm trying
why
to
are
set the
you-
mood.
Brian, don't mess with Zoom settings. We don't want to see you in a picture frame.
Yeah, you do. This is amazing. Look at my chair.
You are someone's wall art.
Yeah, I know. I'm
That's
beautiful.
pretty cool.
You look like
That
the
is
picture
what
of the sea
happened.
captain from SpongeBob.
Are you ready to give us the synyop, Dylan?
Hi, Brian. Okay. So there's a bunch of henchmen who just stole like a car. Is that how it starts? That is the very start,
yeah,
right?
the police chase. Yeah.
Police chase. They've got the car. They're back in their little warehouse area. All of a sudden, they hear a guy who's like, "Hey, you got to send Mannheim a message," but he does it way creepily. He's like, "I'm not going to do an impression of it. It's not good." He wants them to send a message to Bruno Mannheim, which it feels like he was just planning on killing them. So I guess that would have been the message.
Sure. Yeah.
He starts bouncing a ball, which way against physics just keeps gaining velocity and gets bouncier and bouncier no matter what, and it starts to hurt them. It's sort of a that's not how that works, but we said on last week's episode that we're done with those, I think.
I don't know. It'll be up for it's a case by case basis, I guess.
There's a man flying every week, so that's
Yeah.
yeah. But he's not any ordinary man.
Superman hears one of them screaming for help. He saves them. Fast forward, we've got Lois and
we didn't even talk about. We didn't even do how this was the fourth produced episode and the fourth aired episode. So we got to drink champagne again. Where's the champagne?
Got some wine left over from last
I
night.
have chapstick. Let's go, baby.
Oh, James, stop eating that chapstick. That's disgusting. Oh God.
Pomegranates.
Okay. So
Oh God. I said
That's
we
how
would
it
kiss
works.
before you got here, and you didn't get to hear that. So yeah.
Lois and Jimmy, they're then like just overhearing things, and Lois is like, "Let's go to a picnic," which seems like a weird suggestion at the time, but I guess she knew that Bruno Mannheim would be at the park. All of a sudden, there's a bunch of toy airplanes that are also trying to kill Bruno Mannheim. Then his ass is sticking out of a slide, and it looks like one of those videos you
is.
see on the internet. Not that I watch those.
He's like, stepbrother, what are you doing?
I feel like there's something in between these, but I'm going to hit you with another fast forward. All of a sudden, we've got Bruno Mannheim's on a boat, and he's like, "Whew, I'm so glad I'm not stuck on that slide anymore. Thanks, hench bros." And the henchmen are like, "No problem." All of a sudden, giant duck, and he's like, "Shoot the duck." And the duck just starts killing them, which I feel like for those henchmen's wives and children, it must have felt really bad to be like, your father was killed by a duck. No, not like a regular one, a big one, but still.
He was like a duck dozer, but still, it was a duck.
Then Lois gets captured by the doll. The Nighty Night doll? Miss Nighty Night or something?
And Mannheim got captured by bubble dust.
Yes, which if Mannheim is a second Fazder, he shoots him before he passes out.
Yeah,
So.
he didn't just stop to talk for a second.
I do wonder. I wonder if Toyman had a moment to be like, whew, could have died. Like, that would have been bad. Okay, so everything's going according to the toy plan. And then all of a sudden, Superman shows up, and Toyman shows like an ounce of emotion because he's a real freaky dude who doesn't show any emotion.
Yeah.
And Toyman blows up everything. I feel like I skipped some crucial things, but it's okay. We'll fill in those blanks. And then they're like, Bruno Mannheim's like, glad we won't see him again. And then they're like, well, we probably will because there's no body and just this creepy mask thing left behind. Which I think
will, because this is only the second episode or whatever. So
I think rewatching this episode is the first time that in the entirety of the DCAU I've realized that that's a mask. I thought that was his creepy petrified face, which makes him slightly less terrifying. Like he uses a napkin on the mask, and I'm like, "Were you eating with the mask?"
Yeah. Well, he's reading the newspaper through the mask somehow. Like he must be able to see, I guess.
There's no eye holes in there.
Yeah, where are they? Yeah. It's like
He's got a camera. I don't know.
He has a GoPro on the outside that feeds into the inside. Yeah,
this little GoPro mounted to the forehead, and we're just supposed to pretend we don't see it.
Where's he getting the money for these toys? Also, but
where does he get all those wonderful toys?
I was thinking that same thing because we know that he's got to be poor. Like,
well, so you're saying you didn't remember that being a mask? Is this like I was telling Brian, he's like, why is Dylan coming on for this episode? Is it a Christmas episode? And I was like, well, we're using like a real stretched technicality of like toys Christmas.
Is that what
that's what's happening in my brain anyway. But what if you
I'm fine with it.
If you weren't realizing that was a mask, like what's your familiarity with this episode prior to this? Like, you really wanted to come on for this episode, I guess.
I think I really wanted to come on because it's like the first appearance of Toyman, but I don't think I remember this episode that well. I think I just remember Toyman throughout other episodes.
Wow, spoilers. Did you think he'd be back, Brian?
I called that though. Like several of the lines in this episode.
Yeah, you did.
Even like with the explosion, I'm like, he's not dead. And the guy comes on screen, he's like, well, we never found a body, so he's probably alive. I'm like, yeah, it's a pretty basic setup. It's not hard to assume.
He never made it seem like, and now I'm going to kill myself. Like, that didn't seem to be his plan. His plan was, and now I'm going to kill you. But like,
he definitely left, yeah.
He just kind of like Looney Tuned. It
would have been better if there was a Toyman escape, though, where he gets like in a hamster ball and he's like, goodbye, and he just like scurries away. This will protect me from the blast.
I guess, like, what did he do there? Why was his mask broken? But he's gonna be okay. Like
he hid in the safe, and he wasn't able to fit the mask, so we just left it outside.
I got in the safe. Yeah.
How did he do it?
That's where we are right now. I have to know. It'd be much easier for him. He's a very small guy. He'd just get in that safe. Yeah.
Was Bruno Mannheim in the Last Son of Krypton at all?
No.
This is a very breezy introduction to that character that they make it seem like you should know.
Yeah, he's just kind of there, and they're talking about him like he's this big. Well, I think you're right now. You're supposed to just kind of take him as any other Rupert Murdoch-y kind of guy. Of like he's a crime guy, like he's just there.
I'm sorry, are you crime guy?
Are you crime guy in Superman crime guy? What, Brian, you said that you thought the animation was bad in the opening police chase, but then it got fine after that. It was good after that.
Yes.
What was specifically bad for you about the police
Everything. It was like you had like people in the background of the car chase, like behind like the police cars, like zooming by, and the people were like 30 or 40 feet tall. Mm-hmm. The police cars themselves looked like awkwardly inflated, and the physics on them just seemed wrong. They got in the pile up, and again, it was just like some kid with like, plastic toys going, "Cause you poop."
Yeah, I think I said like Blues Brothers when it happened. Yeah,
yeah, and it was sloppy. But then like, I was kind of looking for it through the rest of the episode, and it like faded out. And by the time there was like the giant duck dozer, I was like, this is just like anime good style animation.
Yeah, well, it was TMS. It was bound to be exceptional. I guess
super
I get
anime a couple times.
Yes. Yeah. I guess I get what you mean about it wasn't bothering me at all. I think like in that opening police chase and a couple other times, if someone's like really far away from the camera, their face is just like a very featureless blob or something. But that's just like, oh, why would you put, detail? Pencils are only so big, Well,
there's also the only other weird art thing that I saw was it Superman versus Duck? Where he's like, there's kind of like he's at a distance. And there's like the art on Superman is just, I don't know if it's zoomed in, just when looks he was extra low quality.
Getting exploded by the armpit rockets, that was a little bit
that's
weird
what it was.
looking. Yeah. Although when the duck like flips its wings up and the armpit rockets shoot out, you just went, oh fuck yeah! That wasn't a pretty good sequence. I really like was laughing very hard at I got a kick out of the just sounds it makes, and then it just devours the boat. Like the way it just like, it's such this like innocent looking cartoon duck, but just demolishing the shit out of the boat, and that way it's exploding everything. Yeah. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I fully expected a quack there, and that is not what you get. You get more of a horrifying. There is one other shot that I don't think looks very good either, and it's when Superman is going to rescue those henchmen, and he's flying, and maybe it would look better if he's supposed to be even further away from the city, but he's close enough that you can see the streets and stuff like that, but there's no cars or like, what's supposed to be tiny people. It's just buildings with a lot of space between them that makes it look like he's flying in the post-apocalypse.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, everyone's dead already. I just got to save these last 4 people.
Yeah, and that
for the bouncy ball.
I guess also in that same scene, it was like the car, like, didn't look like there was any detail in the car. It was like a gray lump of clay that was like roughly shaped into the, likeness of a battered automobile.
The design of like vehicles and props and stuff in this show is a little bit more like, oh, it's futuristic, but a future that doesn't exist. Like even the microphone that Mannheim's talking into at the park was like weirdly boxy shaped with some like jagged lines on it. It's like, oh, it looks like it's future microphone but it was like, that's not what a microphone looks like at the same, but you knew the general shape.
Now, but in the future.
In the future of 1996, yeah, exactly. What did you think of all the Toy Man's toys, Brian? I mean, when the airplanes came on screen, you're like, oh, we've seen this before.
Oh, yeah. What episode was that?
Mask of the Phantasm, the episode.
Oh, was it? Was it Mask of the Phantasm? Had the toy plane shooty things?
No, Christmas with the Joker had shooty planes.
And God, Dylan.
Dylan was here. Dylan is now a dog. No one can see these things. Stop.
It doesn't matter. This is for us. Dylan is now Taco the dog.
I blame Brian. He started this. I just continued it.
I'm just a dog. I can't do anything. Why would I change my thing?
I'm not a dog. I'm just trapped like this.
I'm not a cat. I'm not a toy man.
I'm not.
Anyway,
what was the question?
About his toys.
His
the
toys,
firing squad, do they aim? Or is it just like the one that's looking straight at him is going to be the one that hits?
It's a good question. It was cool though. It was a neat sort of like dynamic to have. Again, not that we haven't seen this in the past, but killer toys on the loose kind of style.
Yeah.
I don't know. I approve.
Did you feel it was derivative at all of like a Joker, Mad Hatter, these other things that we've seen toys in before?
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's hard for me to not think that way just because of. We just watched 86 episodes of Batman, but the like Superman's Rogues Gallery, we'll come to find is very different, while still having a lot of the same sort of gimmicks, I guess.
Is there a bird guy that comes on the screen and sounds like a giant chicken?
No, we already had that today. It was Goal. Yeah, it was the Big Duck. BigDuck.com, his name is. Oh, I was going to suggest for the subtitle. So we had Lois locked up in a dollhouse, and then he was after Bruno Mannheim the whole time. So can we just call this straight up Barbenheimer?
It's not going to be Help Me Hench Bros?
Well, I like that too,
Just saying, Jamie, BigDuck.com is smart communications for nonprofits.
Nice. Okay, he's helping people out.
Yeah.
Bursts out of the water. Thank you, but we're fine. Everything's working properly. It's okay.
James,
What?
Real
Dylan?
quick question.
Yes.
This isn't the question of the week. This is just a regular
not that
question.
Okay, good.
You watched these as a child. Did you also find Toyman freaky, or was I the only one who was like, fuck this
I think
dude?
I was old enough by the time I saw the Toyman episodes that it's not like, so his introductory shot where he's like just a hand coming out of the shadows with the ball and then he walks into frame. Brian was like, "Oh, that's not a window. What the fuck?" Like you were so thrown off by the perspective or whatever.
Yeah. I thought it was a wall, and then this guy just kind of like comes down from the top of the screen.
Yeah, but yeah, with his that's a very creepy shot of him coming out of the shadows, and he's just got a mask thing. Yeah, but no, I mean, my finally watching these shows as they happened didn't start till Batman Beyond, and I didn't see a lot of Superman till it was completely done. So the Toyman episodes were just like, whatever, I'm 13, 14, it's fine, you know.
I guess I was younger. I found him very unsettling, and I feel like what's even more unsettling now is knowing that this is his origin episode, and it gives no explanation of his freaky face or mask.
No, I don't think we get to tell Brian anything about the future, said James very cleverly, disguising exactly no one's going to say for sure. The cast is Tim Daly as Superman / Clark Kent, Dana Delaney as Lois Lane. We have Bud Cort as the Toyman. He was previously Josiah Wormwood, a.k.a. Diet Riddler, in the Cape and Cowl conspiracy. Yeah.
I wonder if that's why he sounded so
Give
familiar.
me your cape, Batman. Send me your cape, please, right here in this doorway, he said. David Kaufman as Jimmy Olsen. Bruce Weitz as Bruno Mannheim. He was previously Lockup / Lyle Bolton in Lockup, which is interesting because there were so many Lockup people working on this episode. So I don't know if that's coincidence. Probably. We have Joe Nipote as Spider Spinelli, who is that weird mustache, crazy hair guy at the start of the episode. Got arrested, and he's like, the ball's hitting my truck.
See you in 2 to 5 years, guy.
Yeah, sketchy guy.
Spider
Spinelli.
Okay.
I want a Spider Spinelli, Spider Conway team up right this second. He had two main things he was known for. The character of Frankie Waters in 78 episodes of Viper, which I've never watched or heard of. And he's also the voice of Stretch in Casper, which was the tall, skinny bad guy ghost of the 3 bad guy ghosts or whatever.
You're making up stuff.
Yeah, I haven't seen Casper in a long time, but it's there.
Dylan, is that a movie to watch before you die?
Not that I remember it being.
No, I don't think so.
You know what I can't believe you're not mentioning about Bud Cort, though?
What? Who?
Bud Cort was the star of Harold and Maude, which is like, for some reason...
I'm sure I probably mentioned that in Diet Riddler episode, but I don't go over people's stuff. I don't know.
I do think it's interesting, though, that he's the star of Harold and Maude, where he's in a romantic relationship with a much older woman. And then he played Sigmund Freud in The Secret Diary of Sigmund Freud. And I don't know what the connection is there, but there's something.
Anytime you play Freud, you got to think about it. Did they explain why he kidnapped Lois Lane?
To get the story right?
because of the stuff that she'd written in the past.
Okay. Because he clearly had a very obvious motive for, like, kidnapping Mannheim. Oh, you destroyed my father's business and he's dead now. But when she was there, I was just thinking, like, is it also you had your airplanes, you were flying those, and you're like, ooh, there's a lady down there. I think I'll take her as well. Like, that's what I got from it. I did not hear the explanation.
She writes the article about him in the Daily Planet saying that he's, like, a psycho.
Oh, she wrote that. Okay.
And then... he basically explains to her that he's a psycho seeking external validation and his lost childhood. And it's like, don't get it twisted.
How dare you say this about me? Yeah. When she was saying that, it wasn't clicking that she had written that. I was thinking for some reason she had also read that in the paper. For some reason, I forgot for 10 seconds that she writes for the newspaper, you know. Also, the episode went out of its way to be like, oh, Clark, did you know that computers can do this? And like, you can type 2 things in and cross-reference them. It's 1996.
Yeah, why is Jimmy the one who's like, let me show you how to do journalism, you journalist?
Yeah. Did you know? Yeah.
Hey, I'm a photographer, but here's Google.
Yeah, exactly. There's this website, AskJeeves.com, where you can go and just type in toy and Mannheim, and it'll show you what you need.
I mean, what year was this, though?
96.
96?
This is like very, very start of internet, and they're like basically inventing a search engine.
Al Gore just invented the internet.
He sure did.
And climate?
Yeah,
No.
he invented climate. Yeah, I was thinking that like they probably just had to explain that for the sake of like children going like, how did he find that? But you could also just be like, there's a computer, and just would assume, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have Joe Lala as electrician. He was previously Dickie the Thug in Bane, which I don't remember at all. And also, who was electrician?
And that's a real name?
Joe Lala. Yeah.
Okay.
La la la. I don't know who electrician is. Who's electrician? Where was their
AKA
electrician?
the shocker.
Yeah, the electrician.
No, that's a really good question. Where was there an electrician in this show?
I don't remember.
Wait, in this episode he was the electrician?
He was the electrician in this episode.
Gentlemen, have we failed?
I cannot think of where.
I watched
the
this
fuck-
today. There's
Yeah.
no electrician in this.
Where was there an electrician? I don't know.
We need
Let's
that
see here.
music from the Yoppie guide to play in the background here.
Yeah, just jazz.
Extra loud bongo solo. Okay, where would that was there an electrician like setting up at the park?
If there was, did he speak? Do you recall electricity?
Oh
He was like,
yeah, that was
"Electricity's done."
probably the guy. Yeah, the like setting up the microphone and stuff. But I don't remember him saying anything. He probably did. If he said something, I'm going to play it right now.
Sounds good, Mr. Mannheim. We're ready when you are.
Oh, duh, fucking, we're stupid. Anyway,
Also, that's not necessarily an electrician. That's like basically my job.
no, I was going to say that's like AV guy. That's like
Yeah.
whatever.
He could
That's
be a
not.
grip or a best boy.
Yeah. I want to be best boy.
And last, we have Kevin Richardson as Cop, who is at the start and at the end. He is usually credited as Kevin Michael Richardson. He's one of those guys that's been in everything. I listed some stuff that, first off, some DC stuff he's done. He was Mammoth and Trigon in Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go. He was Kilowog in Green Lantern, the animated series, and the Joker in The Batman. And then here's some other stuff that maybe we will find interesting. He was the Lion Turtle in Avatar The Last Airbender series finale.
Hell yeah.
He is Captain Gantu in Lilo and Stitch, which is the big blue alien guy after Stitch.
Yep.
He is Throbulator and Smicka Smicka Smigoo in Invader Zim.
Can you read that again?
He is Throbulator and Smicka Smicka Smigoo.
Who is
Two
that?
characters I don't remember. I don't know. He plays Action Hank on Dexter's Laboratory, who was like the Mr. T knockoff guy. He is Blind Man in Hey Arnold. He was the voice of Goro in the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie, which I did not know, which is cool.
Oh.
He is the narrator in the first Clerks movie.
Goro doesn't say much.
Yeah, he just kind of
In
grumbles.
the first
and says
Clerks
some stuff.
movie?
Yeah.
That can't be. Is there's what? No.
It must be a very short segment or something, not the whole time. I don't know.
Isn't
That's
there
design,
just
that's
an
it.
intro?
In Clerks?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Isn't there something like setting up like something about like a small
No, it
you
opens
know,
with him waking up and getting the phone call that he has to come into work because he's not even supposed to be there today.
Let's see here.
We covered this movie already on Movies to Watch Before You Die.
Oh, no. It is Clerks the Animated Series.
That sounds right.
That makes more sense.
Dylan, look at how proud he is.
Now that I've been an asshole, I could be on my way.
Yeah. And we never saw him again. The last thing I have written down, he was not on Duckman Private Dick. I was expecting
my
he would
God.
be. But he played a character named Stephen Arlo Openly Gator on Queer Duck,
Private Dick.
2000 to 2002. Nope.
I'm sorry.
Public dick.
What's this called again, though?
Queer Duck. Also Queer Duck the movie a few years later.
What? Where did this air? Like, what is this?
I don't know, man. It goes whoa. But with a little bit more flair, I think. Kevin Michael Richardson will be back as several other voices in the future. I have very short tribs, so I'm just going to throw them at you.
Throw
In
him.
the news report next to the one on what? In the news reports next to the one on Winslow Shot, flight attendants is misspelled with 2 A's at the end. Flight attendants. There you go.
Nice.
Oh. Early in the episode, a police officer radios in that they lost their attackers at 3rd and Schuster, a clear reference to Joe Schuster, one of Superman's creators. Though the DCAU Toyman is named Winslow Schott Jr., his origin and appearance is greatly different. In the comics, Schott was a British toy maker who was fired. What the fuck are you doing, Brian? What are you doing?
Don't worry about it.
Just doing shit.
I realized my brain has just figured out a way to maybe make my audio. I think I figured something out. It might.
Brian's not here mentally. He's putting on avatars. He's putting on like random stuff in front of himself. He's pulling out wires from random places.
Truth.
This is just kind of Brian, And I'll start this over. His origin in the comics is different. Schott was a British toy maker fired from LexCorp and sought revenge.
And I got to say, I was so mad that they didn't acknowledge his comic book origin of the Toyman.
This Toyman's not accurate to the comics, and I mean. Last, I've got footage of Toyman's Toy Factory explosion will be reused in several episodes of this and other subsequent DCAU shows.
Okay.
There's both the shot of, so when you see the close-ups of all the little ticking bombs and they explode, there's that explosion, and then there's also the full, like, barn explosion.
Yeah.
Those are both, you're going to see both of those like 1,000 times from now on. That they just got to the point of like, oh, we need an explosion. We already have a good explosion. TMS did some good explosions. Just put that one again.
So
and
it's not the it's not just the flames and fire and stuff. It's like the whole barn.
No, it's just it will like cut like right at the start of where it stops being a recognizable whatever's exploding. So it'll be like they'll animate up to a certain point of an explosion and then just edit in the big part of the explosion from the rest of it. And the only time you can really tell is they'll do this with a couple other explosions throughout the DCAU too, but the only time that you can really tell is with the one of the little ticking bombs, because there's like one frame of the like handle of the bomb like flying past camera. So it is just like, oh, something else explodes, and then like, yep, there was the bomb handle again. So.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Yeah. There's another thing that we noticed, a little triv.
Oh yeah,
which was the outside of the Daily Planet.
Oh yeah,
there's like the little globe thing. It says Daily Planet, and the N was backwards because they're fans of Nine Inch Nails or something.
Yeah, the first N. Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean the first N? There's only one N in Daily Planet.
Daily Planet.
So there's like two, like going around the globe. It says Daily Planet twice, I think. Oh. And so there's like one off the side that just said net, I think.
Yeah.
And the N was
you got
backwards.
like net daily pla or something like that.
Yeah. Or maybe it does only say it once.
He was sculpted by Jimmy Olsen. He ain't so smart. He did it backwards then.
I'm just a little kid. I don't know I have a mullet. I don't know what I'm doing.
He just went to Toys R Us.
Jimmy supposed to be?
Yeah.
Is Jimmy supposed to be a teenager? And if so, why is he a photographer with like the most experienced reporter?
I believe he's supposed to be 15 per his biography. So I think
he's definitely like too young to work.
He's an intern. Yeah.
So the Daily Planet's going to be one of those companies that like, there was an accident with a miner and they got fined $50 for it that we hear about every week.
He got shot up by airplanes in the park. We're not responsible for airplane damage. Well, yeah, and where are their real photographers? Like, they don't have any, like, on-staff photographers? They just have this little
They have
kid?
an army of 15-year-olds. Perry White's like, give me another Jimmy.
I mean, no, back in that day, there would have been, like, probably an army of photographers. I don't know why there's just one child intern, as Dylan said, working with like the biggest reporter.
Well, and you also, Dylan, you said the thing about the city being like vacant in that one shot, similar to, it seems like it's middle of the day, office hours type of time, work hours. And then Clark and Jimmy are the only people in the entire like giant news floor just hanging out. Yes, Brian, you have worked at a newspaper.
That's me. Sorry, I thought you were going to say, I often thought last second, I thought you were going to talk about being in the city, because the city was quite abandoned as well.
Oh,
but my point for that was, have you been to Sacramento?
No.
What? What?
I have never seen a more dead city. Any time of day. Like, you go to like walk around downtown Sacramento, you'd be hard pressed to find 10 people.
Maybe we talked about this
when
the
capital of California.
The 10 million Gotham population came up. I feel like we might be
probably. I'm forever baffled at how ghost town Sacramento is, despite its population.
Yeah.
I felt that way we were just in Salt Lake City recently, and you have speed limits of 70 or 80 all over the place, and you're like, why is there no traffic here? Because I live on Long Island and it's constant traffic. And then I looked up the population. The entire state of Utah has half as many people as just Long Island.
Wait, seriously?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Long Island is almost a full Gotham.
Almost Gotham. One of those big bus trips that they sent us on for photo things, they had me land in an airport like 3 hours from the place, and so I had to get a rental car and drive there. And it was like an 8-lane highway full of just everyone going 1,000 miles an hour, and there were no signs for the actual speed limit. My GPS was like, I don't know, you're on your own. And I was I sent a Snapchat, probably to you at the time also, of me just speeding down like, I guess it's just the fucking Autobahn, every man for himself.
So was that a trip down to Indio?
It was, yes.
Yeah, okay. I would bet some amount of money that you are on the Grapevine, which is an infamous road where you just floor it, you change lanes constantly, and try not to die.
Yeah, it didn't help that there was also a like mammoth-sized moth in the back of my car that I didn't notice until I was already on the highway, so I had to just keep like checking back there that it wasn't going to come kill me.
The Grapevine, a.k.a. the I Heard It Through way.
Yes.
No,
I was kind of waiting for that. Yeah.
Where's the Jimmy? Where's the reject Dylan button?
Oh, no.
There's the boner button. That'll work.
This is what I'm here for. Bad puns.
Yes.
That's, to be fair, yes, it is.
Okay, let's do keen effects.
Let's do it.
Let's some keen effects in this episode.
How about the explosions that we use time and time again to the rest of the DCAU?
We should just try to clock exactly how many that we see. Like if there's an explosion, we should be like, was that the Toyman one? And just take a tally.
I do like that.
So we got one so far.
As far as keen FX, also, there's like a random wipe in this episode where it's after the plane attack, it just wipes to the Daily Planet. Has there been a wipe in the DCAU before like that?
I think
so.
Weird. A couple every once in a while, but I do notice them when they happen too. I think the Ra's al Ghul episodes tend to do them because they're like desert, Star Wars.
Yeah,
we do a wipe. Yeah, I mean the duck, the ducks scene was pretty keen. A lot of.
I mean the water like effects and explosions and stuff was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
Bruno Mannheim swimming looked cool.
You're looking fantastic. Get your ass stuck in a slide. It's all good.
I know. Should we have should like the Stepbruno thing be a keen effect, or are we just gonna let that one go?
Stepbruno, yeah.
And who could forget the keen FX of the electrician?
Oh, so keen.
He was like giving thumbs up and looking at his equipment and stuff. That was so cool. So keen.
So keen.
Something that did actually like legitimately catch my eye in this was I wasn't sure if it was a symptom of the director, being like more hands-on with the art, or if it was just TMS being good old TMS. But things would like, so in the warehouse, the ball's bouncing around, it's smashing into shit. It hit like a crate full of barrels. And the crate like exploded, but then it kind of like did like a Matrix-y like time slowdown sort of thing where it like boom, and then it very slow-mo the pieces were kind of flailing off of it, and it did that like 6 other times, and I really like that. It's not realistic, but it's very stylized, like, oh yeah, good anime thing. Like there's a lot of anime-ish stuff in TMS episodes.
It's like that speed ramping, like Zack Snyder style. Like the fight
that's
scenes
exactly
in
what I'm
300.
trying to say. Yes. Zack Snyder is the blueprint.
Oh, God, I didn't even mean for that.
While we're talking about that one scene, the fact that building is just rimmed with windows everywhere, multi-levels of... Don't give me that look, Dylan.
Rimmed with windows, steps, hench bros. Yeah.
Stepbruno rimmed. Oh, God.
Stepbruno rim job? Is that what you said?
I said Stepbruno. No.
Hench bro rimmed with windows. I don't know.
Yep, that's
anyway,
what it said.
The fact that there is just windows everywhere in that building, and that ball somehow didn't break through a single one. Like, come on.
Superman's got to get in there and get beat up by it.
That was hilarious.
Just getting smacked like a dodgeball,
Yeah, Superman never playing dodgeball in his life. How does this game work? And then he squashes it to dust.
So I want a flashback to high school Clark again playing dodgeball. That's where he finds out he has super strength. He throws the ball at somebody and they fucking explode. Oh my god! What?
I had that same thought during the plane attack when Clark Kent tackles Bruno, and I was like, he's got really under control there because he could have just jumped right through Bruno and everywhere.
Just burst him into pieces. Yeah,
that's like the boys' version of this. It's just like everyone's covered in blood.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, and the same. Well, so yeah, he somehow gets beat up by the ball, and then he just goes like, "Okay, this is fucking annoying," and then claps it to dust, which was good. But at the same time, I forgot that he did that. So I was like thinking the whole time, how does the ball stop? Like I remembered him coming in, picking the truck up and shooting through the ceiling. I thought that's all he did. Like I thought he just came and saved the guys and just left the ball to its own whatever it was going to do.
It's still there.
Yeah, that's right. So I was like almost hoping that he did that. And then I know this wasn't going to happen, but I really liked the idea of just like 50 episodes later, Superman's like, did I forget something? And then the ball just smashes through the wall and smacks him in the face or whatever.
I would have loved to. By the way, the scale of that with the ball was kind of weird because like he does the big hand slappy clap thing, and this ball was like decently sized.
Yeah.
And then he just like smacks it in
He's got big hands.
Roughly the size of like a golf ball. His hands are huge.
I thought it was like the size of like a tennis ball though, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Toyman's holding it in one hand when he comes in, isn't he?
Yeah, but Toyman is a small man, so it might look bigger.
I guess it was like softball sized. Maybe that's the thing. But I would love to see a version of this where the ball's like beating up Superman. He's sitting there. And then, James, if you could edit for me, like motion track this in, he like goes to clap it, and maybe the ball just comes through his hands like his second behind, and it just like creams his face and knocks him out of frame.
I was just thinking you meant like he tries to clap it, but it just literally goes through his hand and creates a giant hole in his hand. I'll just take care of this. It didn't work. Why would I think that would work?
It's made of kryptonite. He's just
I know that it's not the introduction of kryptonite, but he had so many green things to use against Superman. Like when he threw the Play-Doh shit at him, I was like, oh, is this laced with kryptonite? Is that going to be the reveal?
I thought that was,
but then it's not. Yeah.
But instead, they apparently also watched The Fifth Element last night, and there's just everything's green. Are we green?
We're green.
Dylan, are you green?
I don't remember everything being green in The Fifth Element.
That's a movie to watch before you die, for sure.
You've seen Fifth Element.
Of course. I always think of the dancing opera lady who's like,
Exactly. Yeah.
One of the weirdest scenes in that movie by far, when she goes into like techno remix. No, that was Ruby's like catchphrase. Like everything's like green, like for like okay.
Yes.
Ruby is Chris Tucker's character?
Yeah.
Okay. The thing that I always take away from that movie is just going, Lilu Dallas Multipass.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think that's everybody's.
Oh, yeah. I was literally washing dishes in my head. It was just like, Lilo Dallas Multipass.
Yeah. The green sludge stuff. I like Superman going, as you said, Tasmanian devil mode. And then when
What are Superman's powers?
That's just part
whatever
of
he
fast.
needs.
That's part of fast, Brian. Spin fast.
Spin
fast.
Spin fast?
Yeah, everything fast.
Okay.
Tackle Bruno Mannheim fast.
Heat vision. So this episode, we have heat vision.
Okay, here's our new segment. Keep track of Superman's powers.
I like that. Heat vision, super spin,
dreidel
fly.
Dreidel powers.
Dreidel powers. Toyman threw it and he said, I made this out of clay, Superman.
Yeah. You're really bringing the Long Island to the podcast, Dylan. Thank you for that.
Was it the dreidel?
Superman, I've got something dried and ready for you. Well,
okay, wait. Have you ever with the Yopisode guide from the other day, Dylan, have you ever played the dreidel drinking game?
No. I've never even heard of the dreidel drinking game.
Not.
I thought dreidels were just a gateway to chocolate coins.
Yeah, no. The adult version, dreidel drinking game, and it's exactly what you'd expect.
I thought the adult version of dreidel was Beyblades.
Should use dreidels to play Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, I rolled a 10. Yeah, I rolled a star.
What 4? What numbers? What numbers are on the side of a dreidel?
I don't know.
Just 1 to 4, but
Is it just
Hebrew?
1 to 4?
In Hebrew, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought, but I didn't know.
Help
if it was
me,
something
Hebrew.
else.
God.
Love this.
When Superman does the Tasmanian Devil thing, he's like, Lois, get to cover, fucking hide behind something. And then because this stuff will consume your body until you can't breathe. And she's like, okay, Superman, and runs away. And then he starts doing it, and she's just very much peeking out from behind it and just ducking shit. And I just screamed, hide better! Like, you fucking idiot.
He also does not warn Bruno Mannheim at all. He's like,
No, I love
good
that.
luck.
Yeah, he's, whoa, as he's trying to get out of the way. Yeah.
Matrix dodging the shit, and there's Lois just. Help me, step bro. I'm stuck behind this
Stuck
cube.
behind a box. I can't move. Yeah.
Superman, is this what you meant? Is this hiding? My legs are mostly not showing. Am I hiding behind this cube?
I mean, on that same subject, the Toy Man did, just
Good
like
hiding,
Dylan hiding behind a shirt sleeve. Yeah. On the same subject, Toy Man knocks out Lois with the doll gas, or no?
Yeah.
Was it gas? Yeah, everything was gas.
It was it was a wand.
Oh, is it? Yeah,
dust.
wand sparklies. Yeah. When he knocks her out with that, she's in like a bathrobe and hair towel. And then she wakes up in a doll costume, so he definitely something there,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah.
Yes, he
Cool.
did.
Cool beans.
Also, can we talk about the Warriors callback? He's like, Lois, come out and play.
Yes. Yeah, you said that as it was happening.
Can Lois come out to play, he says.
Yeah.
If only he was clicking the bottles between his fingers, too.
Yes.
Right.
Come out to play.
I mean, you could just add some bottle clinks to that clip and it would be pretty much the exact same thing.
Okay, so James, if you could edit in some bottles.
So Jamie, if you could, I don't think I've seen like maybe one of like the TikTok things I've requested. You did the corn one.
I did the corn one.
If you want more things to blow up, like folding chairs through windows, you need to start taking Brian's ideas seriously here.
I really do, yeah.
Look, I'm the brains behind this Well, no, I'm just going to stop.
The brains
right there.
behind the TikToks. Yeah. The clips. Is this episode books or hip-hop? Do what you think?
Dylan, you first.
I think it's a little books. It's a little books.
Yeah.
Why do you say
There's
that?
several books in it. There's a newspaper, which is book-like, and then there's a choice book, a children's book.
He does have the pop-up book. Yeah,
a
that's
pop-up
true.
book. That's the
true.
word I couldn't remember.
Yeah,
I'm not a
definitely.
child.
I'm going books too.
Damn. I gotta go hip-hop. Everything was pretty hip-hop to me. I don't know.
That's cool, man.
That's all that's all you gotta say.
Your hip hop is your own.
All right, let's do the Balderarchy. This is where we rank the antagonists of the episode on most bald. So our total antagonists, I would suppose, would be the Toy Man and Bruno Mannheim. I'm going to have to vote for Toy Man because we don't know if he's bald under there. And he's more likely to be than Bruno Mannheim. Because
we don't see any amount of hair.
And the mask certainly doesn't have hair.
The hair on that mask is not real, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he could full on, like, he could be, like, have a real bad case of alopecia. We wouldn't know.
We wouldn't know.
I also did not realize that this was only for the antagonist, because otherwise, always at the bottom of that hierarchy, Balderarchy, would have been Jimmy Olsen with that mullet.
He's got the most hair.
Permanently at the bottom.
No, it's the antagonist, yeah. Well, that was an easy one. Top 10. We got to put it on there somewhere. Are we putting this below or above the pilot episodes, Brian? I'm definitely putting it below, but it's still a pretty dang good episode so far.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the exact same. Why do I always shift key? Does anybody? This is such a side.
Yeah,
does anybody out there try to capitalize numbers when typing?
You've said this before, and nobody else does. It's just you.
Fuck, I'm an idiot.
Dylan, I think your top 10 list has to be just automatically become a Yop 10 for you. So you have a bullet with the Pollack and Christmas for Joker on your list. Oh my God, a bullet with the Pollack is your number 1 and number 11 for Christmas for Joker. Where are you putting this one? Fun and games.
I anticipate there's got to be better episodes. Let's put this at a solid 5.
5, okay.
I want to keep some space in there. I don't know when I'll be back.
None of these episodes can touch. Just keep them aside.
Yeah,
we're just
you got to keep them separated
here.
Burn up, Toy Man. Oh yeah. Yeah, all right, cool. This sounds good to me. I think we're through all the shit. We got to do the Yoppie Mail now. Do the Yoppie Mail?
Oh my God, yeah, sure.
That yop. That one small extra yop, put it over.
We drop
What we drop?
our weekly yops
Oh yeah, those.
into the comment box. First, there sure was a lot.
Now Jamie's mad.
Too bad we're all
At least I am.
just Dylan Pollack.
That's
He's right there. Look at him.
Now, I totally forgot to play that last time, so I'm going to play it again.
No.
Just kidding. No one caught me on that. As people were talking about that we didn't do the Yop 10 either, but we kind of decided semi-off camera that the Yop 10 will be... We do compare it to the Bat... all the Yop 10 right now is just all the Batman episodes, but it's kind of just like whether we feel like, oh man, this was such a good fucking episode. Does it stack up against these Batman ones? And so far, it's just been like, no, not yet. So, yeah.
so far of the two. Yeah,
Of
I
the
mean, it's
two,
not like it's been so long.
We've done
so far. Yeah,
four-ish.
technically. Yeah. If you want to reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of the Cat in the Claw Part 2 or the arm of roaches behind Bullock's coat, email us at batwagonpod@gmail.com. Brian, I wanted to tell you, I think probably because of Alex's appearance, we are up 65 points in Great Britain TV reviews on Apple Podcasts.
I love that.
We are now ranked number 54, baby. Hell yeah.
I've been making sock puppets with a VPN.
Yeah,
Thanks,
good.
buddy.
Thank you so much. Dino-faced individual.
Hey.
Fun and Games Hench Reviews. Comment submitted by Bruno the Man. When I came to Metropolis, I thought it would be way different than Gotham. It's hard to be a gangster here when you have to rub shoulders with clowns and guys that squawk at you. Metropolis was supposed to be simpler. All you had to worry about was the corrupt businessmen that they'd probably leave you alone with if you didn't mess with him. My luck, then, that a creepy little man-child thinks he's Jigsaw, decided to involve me in his weird doll fetish. Also kill me, that'd suck pretty bad, too. Now I need to get rid of Quacksbert, my rubber duck. I can't look at him anymore without freaking out. I give Toyman a 0 out of 5. His eyes, I feel them still. Quick aside, On Her Majesty's Secret Service is my favorite Bond movie. The best way of finding out why is probably the From Rewatch with Love podcast episode on Her Majesty's Secret Service, which breaks down the movie quite well. The whole podcast is great in general. Anyways, thanks again for the Synyop files. Yes, he won the thing. So
I do find it funny to think that if one of those henchmen attacked by the duck survived, that they just cannot look at ducks anymore. They're like, get that rubber duck out of the bathtub now.
Honey, could you please bring me the... they just see it in their head. Oh, God. Yeah. Jordan Newman, Fun and Games. It's okay, everyone. Jack Ryder finally made it to Metropolis. Oh.
You're listening to the Gotham Insider, bringing you hard-hitting news and investigative pieces from right out in the field. I'm Jack Ryder, reporting from Metropolis, and can someone please explain what the fuck is going on here? I just watched a flying man punch a giant rubber duck, and he wasn't even on top of an invisible car this time. I checked, and I'm also getting reports of a tornado inside a building. Ivy was bad enough, but this is out of control, man. Now we're the music.
Amazing.
I love the Superman theme, and it keeps happening, and that makes me happy. And there was also a really cool, chaotic waltz that happened when Superman had to fight the giant rubber duck, and I don't know if you can tell from my voice, but I love all of this stuff so much. Never apologize for loving your fandom, and try to stay optimistic.
Yeah, I didn't mention, I had thought about that too, with like, it was just... like you had to write the Joker theme, but not have it be copyrighted. Like it was just barely not like it was very similar carnival sounding kind of thing. Yeah.
Can we mention there was one time here that the Superman theme felt really out of place, and it's when he's going to like where Bruno Mannheim was just kidnapped from, and it's like big Superman theme, and then it's just like I didn't do nothing. I just lived.
I just existed. Yeah. Sometimes it's a little overused, but it felt okay. This is Chanda Hulk, Fun and Games, or Mafia voice. Oh no, the consequences of my actions. Sup, James and Brian. What the fuck was this episode? I couldn't have come up with this whack shit ever. God, Toyman was so menacing, his unmoving mask when he talks, though it did remind me of an old web series called Red vs. Blue. Oh, old. I guess it is old. Red versus Blue. Where they did the same thing. My favorite bit of the episode was watching Bruno Mannheim do his funny little runs away from the plane and the Nickelodeon gack. For my gimmick, I shall comment okay on every episode. Wait, you're saying that's taken? Damn it, I'll think of something next week. Thank you. Jacob Alvarado. Hello, Yoppie dudes, Jasper and Brodrith. First off, happy goddamn birthday, Dylan Pollack. You just happened to be here. Secondly, it took me a whole ass week to watch the episode guide. Yeah, us too. I've been listening to it while moving into my new apartment and while at work. Now, in regards to bat feet, I'd shown mine off, but while moving, I dropped a dresser on my toe and cracked my whole big toenail. Hurts like a bitch. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, God. And we all been, like, stabbed up lately, too. Anyways,
I'm sorry, did they tell you not to send it anyway?
Yeah, we didn't specify we don't want to see that. Anyways, on to this episode of Superman. The Toyman has always been a villain that has scared the shit out of me, probably due to my fear of Chucky at a young age. So why is Toyman like that? Is he human? Is he toy? Why the fuck does he speak so creepily? The one thing I've always remembered from this episode, though, is the giant duck and the sounds it makes. I fuck with it.
What sound is that?
Have a super week and pump up the yops, everyone.
Oh my God, yeah.
Eric Lebeau, Yoppie Mail. Hey guys, I've been a big fan of the Watchtower for years and a casual listener to the podcast, but hoping to catch up as I've recently been doing a fair amount of stuff that listening to podcasts helps me get through a bit easier. When I heard the name The Balderarchy, I couldn't help but get a sudden burst of inspiration, so bear with me and this little jingle I made up. If for some reason you want to add some simple music and use it, feel free. Keep in mind I'm not a trained singer. I just came up with this and felt like doing something goofy. You can stop reading here and play the audio first before continuing. Okay, I will do that. Here's the balderarchy.wave.
He's bald, I'm bald, we're all bald. But who's the baddest bald of all? It's James and Brian's final call. The Balderarchy.
I love it.
I think I'll auto-tune that a little bit, and I'll definitely use that. We got to do that.
I think we got to also like put some like MIDI horns behind that.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. A little game showy. Yeah, for sure.
Jordan, send us your mouth trumpet noises for that.
Yeah. Jordan, could you do a mouth trumpet noise for every note on the keyboard, and then I'll just put them in the right place?
Okay, actually, I think we got a thing happening here. I love this.
P.S. My last name is pronounced Lebo. Okay, I think I said Lebo. Sorry. In case I'll remember for the future. All right. This is Scotty Cameron. Toys, oh toys, where does he get those wonderful toys? Hey, Yoppie dudes, great show as always. It's so great to start Superman the Animated Series. Finally, I got all 3 seasons on DVD just in time for you to start. Good.
Nice.
Good. I have to say, Last Son of Krypton is my favorite telling of Superman's origin story. I prefer to watch this 3-parter in movie form because it flows smoothly. It's not disrupted by credits and previously on to progress through the story. However, I do like how the episodes are broken up into sections. It kind of makes me wish Batman the Animated Series premiered with a 3-part episode chronicling Batman's origin story. Yeah, Brian wished that as well. Or maybe he wished it for so long. And maybe since Brian is a more dark and mysterious character than Superman, it actually works best to reveal aspects of his origin as the show progresses, instead of dumping it all at once like with Superman. Do you agree? Did you? Yeah. Were you fine with that by the end?
Yeah. Actually, like I think I said that in the first Superman episode that like it does. I think it works well for Superman, and I like the way they did it. But having had it that way, I think it would have been awkward with Batman.
Yeah. As someone who is from Kansas, I can say that we do not care. Does that go on the wall, or is that reserved for Australians? Or since we're dealing with a superhero from Kansas, do Kansans go on the wall now in addition to Australians?
Oh my God.
Well, you can.
That's
make
a
that
good
call,
question.
Brian.
That's a good question.
I assume he knows, but is Kansans is the proper term? It's not like Kansonians?
That's what he's written. That's what he's written here.
Or Kansasites?
Kansanites?
Kasnians, yeah.
Kasnians.
Yes.
Can we just do that? A list of Kasnians. If you're from Kansas, you count
Superman said, as a small boy from Kasnia.
Yeah, I was raised on Kasnian logic to destroy everything.
People
now for
who live in Kansas are called Kansans.
I guess
and
so.
Jayhawkers. What?
That's made up. That's not real.
Jayhawker sounds like a superhero from 1933, like Jayhawker and the Man of Tomorrow.
Yeah. Now for some fun and games. The Mad Bomber is terrorizing Metropolis, and for some reason he sounds like the not Riddler. Oh, that's right. There's like a fan theory that's been running for years that the Bruce Timm looking Mad Bomber guy from Grey Ghost is the Toyman. Because he has like the exact same methods and toy shit and all that kind of stuff, blowy uppy toys.
Oh,
but
yeah.
They show the little kid and he's like dark hair. I don't know. I don't personally believe it, but it could be a thing.
This has ruined my question of the week.
Oh, no. I'll
Guess
edit
you
that
gotta
out.
think of a new one.
This is from Jeremy Wormwood, a.k.a. Diet Riddler. I have come to Metropolis. Let's see. Is this the right voice? Toys. Let's see. What's the Toyman line that is not too spoilery that I can get in the mode? Twinkle, twinkle. There we go. Hey, Yoppie dudes. Are you glad that I've returned to this show in the form of a toy man? I know you've been waiting for my long-awaited return since Cape and Cowl Conspiracy. Here to see me upgrade my shtick from merely stealing the Riddler's gimmick to puzzle-based traps to stealing the Joker's deadly toys gimmick. What's this? I'm not the toy man? Then why the hell does the toy man sound exactly like me? Anyway, I hope you've read Red Dragon recently or watched the movie or the show Hannibal, because Toyman kidnapping Lois Lane because he's upset about what she wrote about him is eerily similar to when Francis Tooth Fairy Dollaride kidnaps Freddie Lowndes. We don't know these references.
I know the movie he's talking
Scotty
about.
Cameron, because you get the loophole of sending multiple emails. Maybe it's just a coincidence, or maybe the DCAU writers like Thomas Harris's writing Stay Yoppie, the not Riddler guy. Thank you so much, not Scotty Cameron.
And then Toyman made Bruno Mannheim eat a part of his own brain.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Daniel Barnhart. I'm glad I made it on the show last week. This is step 2 of my master plan to take over the show from Dylan. He should watch the movie Black Adam on his podcast, Movies to Watch Before You Die, because the hierarchy of power on the Jump on the Bat-Wagon is about to change. Now for thoughts on
get the fuck out of here on both parts.
Yeah, we're not watching Black Adam. Now for thoughts on the episode. Growing up in the foster care system in the 80s for Toyman must have been hard. As an adult, all he can think about is how his dad got wrongly put in prison. One day after watching 40 hours of Nickelodeon and Disney afternoons, he made a plan to avenge his father. My question for everyone in the audience is, what 90s kids TV show would you use to plot revenge on someone? Sincerely, your new partner, Daniel Barnhart. Ooh, I don't know.
90s?
It has to be the
kids
90s.
TV show. So like a plot from an episode, I suppose. I mean, there was that Hey Arnold episode where he was having playtime with too many sticks, so I might use that.
What about Stoop Kid?
It's the 80s, but my brain is going straight to Captain Planet, because Captain Planet has like the most realistically evil supervillains where they're just like, I'm going to pollute everywhere.
Yeah, true.
2001. I was going to say there's some great Invader Zim plots, but that's 2001.
The Invader Zim episode of plucking that kid's eyeballs out and putting robot eyes in there. You remember that?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's do that to
That's
Dylan.
2000s.
I know, whatever. This is Carly Barron. The Trunks. I promise I'll never send a message this long again, oh God. Dear Brian, here's the thing with Superman's costume. It has to have the trunks because that's Superman. He debuted with those trunks in 1938, so they're almost as old as you. And they are no more they're no more silly than dressing up as a bat with pointy ears. The other thing is that Superman is a cultural icon, so the costume is a symbol of what he stands for and is an instant visual cue in and of itself. And also, that's just what he looks like. Superhero comics are notorious for prioritizing style over logic, with most issues having a story contrived to lead up to a dope splash page of action and awesomeness purely for the visual satisfaction of seeing an artist's talent on full display, which is actually pretty similar to conventions of Greek theater, opera, and musicals, where an act or number is ended with a grand freeze frame on stage. And anyway, in the comics, they took the trunks away and the readers revolted and they put them back. LOL. Because it looked weird and wrong, and comics are such a uniquely visual medium that it was like ingrained in the social consciousness that the trunks should be there, and there was a weird uncanny valley effect without them. I agree. Trunks good. And also, my genuine advice to fully enjoy TAS, you're going to have to accept that Superman as a character in any form is less grounded in reality, and the real enjoyment of Superman is how his stories embrace lightness and imagination. When I read a Batman story, I read it for the plot and characters, but the best Superman stories are about humanity and our potential and how to be a good person. And also silly sci-fi stuff because he comes from space, I guess. That's my... He's
a Kasnian.
Yes, exactly. I wasted a lot of money on a costume design degree, so my word is law. Argue with me and die. Also, did anyone else think it was kind of hot when Superman smashed that ball?
If only Superman would do that to me.
I wish he would crush my ball for sure.
Oh God, just turn it straight to dust.
Clap. Yeah. One clap will do after it slaps him in the face a few times. Tip Tapper caught templations on fun and games sent from my exploding toy phone.
And we've got the super late night thoughts from the cot. I have to go to bed, but I wanted to say something about this episode first on fun and games. I think it's a fun episode. I think this toy man is super creepy, and I like that his gimmicks are all, like, when the rubber duck, I forgot this episode had a rubber duck, but when it started coming out of the water, I was like, I really hope it's a rubber duck, and it was great. I think Clark feels a little bit absent or sidelined in this episode. I think it's a lot more focused on sort of Lois and her investigation and Toyman just generally being creepy. But I like that we see Clark doing detective work. I also like that I think they kind of show very well that he's not necessarily being Superman as the idea yet. He's just sort of still saving people and fighting crime because he's there. And he's just trying to do good. And that I don't think it's quite gotten to the Superman standpoint that it, does later or does in, media in general. I just think that's a really fun character thing. Those are my short thoughts. I have to be up at 5 a.m. Bye.
Oh my God. I guess, yeah, he's not like hiding or anything, but he's definitely just kind of like there. Like he'll just pop in. People don't quite know that he's like the dude yet. He's not the main man, you know what I'm saying?
Which is weird because he was like all over the front page.
Yeah, I guess. But there was the guy going, "Hey, Superman, you're all right," on the rooftop. So
Superman, you're great. You want a hot dog?
Can you come give me a ball slap, please? He says, "No." Can you come crush my ball?
Yeah, if people saw the tenacity of his slap, surely they'd be lining up.
You can retire from journalism, start that OnlyFans, and you'd be good.
Oh my God. Just Superman. Oh, I'm not going to. Keen Machine, Fun and Games. Greetings, Brian and James. And Dylan, he meant. I have always loved this episode of TAS. This is definitely my favorite version of the Toyman. His mixture of infantile logic and mannerisms with deadly creativity invokes the same chills as a horror film antagonist, especially with that cold, frozen smile and brilliant voice work. Such an improvement from the lame, evil toy maker of previous iterations. I didn't get a chance to watch this one before leaving a message, but from what I remember, the episode still holds up well. Keep it keen. Yeah, it did. Yeah.
That was something that, but just to like echo that, it was really cool to see that like frozen kind of, doll face or whatever.
Mm-hmm. It'll have many other creepy moments in future episodes too. That's why when Dylan was asking like, "Oh, did you ever get creeped out by the Toyman?" I'm like trying to think of like, no, not in this episode. It'll get better. Yeah,
but no, it's a really cool dynamic of like. And I bet it was fun for the animators too to like just one to keep that face. Maybe it saves them.
Yeah, probably.
I was gonna say they were like the mouth doesn't move. Oh, thank God.
Yeah, but like to have those like physical because the physical reactions are still very realistic.
Yeah.
Mixed with the face that doesn't move. It's just a very like kind of like upsetting.
Yeah, it was when he gets all mad and his voice is all craggly and stuff as he's like screaming, but his face is still that thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh God.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Fiacra Horgan, thoughts on fun and games. Hey, James and Brian and Dylan. It took me 3 days, but I finally got through the episode guide. Oh, only 3. That's impressive. I'm really glad I listened to both of you devolve into madness. Otherwise, I would have missed out on the vital Yoppie feet lore. Also, it's bold of you both to assume I would give up my feet pics for free.
Yes, it is. Thank you for noticing.
Thank you for not doing it. Okay,
it took
fun and
you 3
games.
days. It took me 36 minutes.
Yeah. What the fuck, Dylan? Fun and Games is a pretty good episode. I love Toyman in this show. I love his voice. I love his design. I love his theme music. I love his whole gimmick. He just gives off such a creepy vibe. The hollow, echoey quality they gave his voice is really effective. Yeah, it kind of had a Mr. Freeze-y kind of echo to it. Also, we've now been introduced to around 5 Superman villains in the first 2 episodes alone, if I'm counting Last Son of Krypton as one story, and none of it feels forced or excessive, just really good world building. I don't know if it's just because they're both oddballs, but I feel like Toyman and Mad Hatter would get on well together and probably murder each other, I would assume. It was funny how Superman told Lois not to come close to him when that green venom goo was on him, yet then he proceeded to whirlwind the goo all over the room. See you guys next week. Stay happy. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I didn't send in a voice thing, so question of the week.
James's favorite part.
Oh, is this just live Dylan Pollack?
Yes, here's what the original question of the week was, which was basically asked in a comment.
Yeah, okay.
Does Toyman work as well as a Batman villain if he were the bad guy and say the Gray Ghost, which is literally what someone said.
Oh my god.
But
yeah,
new thing I've come up with on the spot.
Oh. Yes.
Question of the week. Better vacation, relaxation, or more explory tourist things?
Oh.
Explory. The go out and do.
I think I agree with that. Every time that someone, oh my god, I need a vacation. I just want to be sitting on the beach. I'm like, that sounds boring as fuck. Yeah. The one time I've enjoyed that was because I had already done 1,000 like excursions on a cruise ship. Like, oh, we did the quad riding, we did this hike, and we did the zoo, and we did the thing, and the birds and the monkeys and blah. And then it was like, oh, just go to the beach and sit there. Oh, thank fuck. But if that was all that I was doing, I'd just be so like, I gotta do something. Oh my god!
I'm not ADHD at all. Like, I'm fine sitting on a beach.
Yeah,
I gotta go pee.
Oh my god! All right, let's do the podcast without Brian.
I'm also reading here. James told me he wants me to do a correction from last week because people kept saying, I can't believe that's what Brian looks like. And that's not what Brian looks like. James photoshopped that photo. Brian actually looks like the sloth guy from Seven with the air fresheners around him. That's more of it.
When he slits up with the tongue. That was you're talking about?
That's the one.
Yeah, yeah. And I put a picture of Dylan Pollack in the thing just as a cover-up. That's what Dylan actually looks like.
Yep.
Yep.
That's what everyone felt like during COVID around me. I was like, stay back.
My tongue is gone.
What the fuck?
We're talking about the movie Seven.
Oh. I haven't seen that movie in so many years.
That's good. Jump on the Bat-Wagon, episode 87, The Last Son of Krypton, parts 1 to 3, or Kansas Doesn't Care. This is from Ashley Tutchin. Look up in the sky. It's a pee-pee. It's a poo-poo. No, it's bleh. Yuck. I've really got to stop looking up at planes flying overhead. We haven't so much started a new chapter as a whole new book, and I really hope Brother Bibbo Brickowski will come to enjoy it just as much as the Book of BTAS. This opening three-parter is so darn good and the perfect way to start the series. STAS, like its Bat predecessor, is still one of the best Superman adaptations we've seen, and there have been a lot. Time to leap some tall buildings, boys. Let's go!
Let's do.
Kyle Naranya. Given how we only got parts of Brian's prediction for every upcoming episode, like Batman's origin, I like how STAS gave us a three-parter laying out the whole origin. Charles Motosierra, Toyman's like a slasher serial killer, perfectly translated into a kid's show. I love him. It's interesting that he has Batman villain energy, and I do believe he's usually sent to Arkham in the comics, but keeps escaping to Metropolis. Regarding Superman's outfit, I think superheroes dress the way they do for more than just tactical reasons. Batman's outfit's supposed to hide him in the shadows, but also create a scary mythology about him, while Superman serves to make him a recognizable symbol of hope. The nice S celebrates his Kryptonian heritage, while the color scheme serves to both say he's also American and as a way to tell people he's on their team. I'm assuming this given Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster's background as second-generation immigrants. The cape is there because it's cool. On a side note, do you guys think Superman has ever considered sending Bruno Mannheim to church? Yes, probably. I like the people coming out the woodwork to be like, Brian, let me tell you, the costume is good, and you should know that this is why.
Yeah, you can see his underwear, so you know he's your friend.
Mm-hmm. Have we talked about James's lyrics to the theme song at all? Was that a thing last week? I don't think so.
No, we didn't do that yet, but we did that later in Batman, so I was trying to figure out when to do it. I don't know. We'll do it later.
One of these days.
Fintius Darkwood. Oh, right. Leaving comments helps with the algorithm. Since this episode is a great jumping on point for new listeners, let me write something. James and Brian are fun hosts. 5 out of 5 do recommend. There, that'll do. Thank you so much. You're welcome.
And Dylan.
Old King Cole, I wonder how Jor-El was like before Krypton exploded in the DCAU. Like, was he a kind of pulp drama sci-fi scientist guy in the same vein of Johnny Quest's dad, Indiana Jones, or a not shitty version of Jonas Venture traveling across the planet to figure out his theories and fight giant space creatures? Yeah, we don't really get to know what he was doing. I don't know. Evil Banana Man says unsatisfactory.
Okay.
This is a new edition that I'm enjoying. This is from LexCorp Cares. Hi, John and Brandon. Just wanted to reach out. So glad to hear you discussing the wonderful Lexosuit. However, just wanted to clear up a few points. The 5,000 number represents how many lives each Lexosuit is going to save. Also, we here at LexCorp have no intention to illegally sell any of our amazing products and have no connection to John Corbin, whoever that is. Have a great day, and don't forget to flex your smiles today. Oh, my God. Good one, Dylan. That is obviously, yeah.
That is straight out of Welcome to Night Vale. I love that.
Ty Saxon. You Yoppie dudes are getting me through having all 4 of my wisdom teeth removed. Needed a good time today, and I can't thank you both enough for it. James Bryan, you're fucking awesome. Oh, thank you. Not Dylan, though.
Having just had some dental work that I'm like also kind of recovering from, and haven't been enjoying smiling these past few days. I hope
to be on the podcast.
I hope you're not laughing too much while listening to this, because that must hurt.
Because it's holes, baby.
Can we talk about Ty Saxon and Phineas Darkwood? They sound like they should be partners in the Old West.
Yeah.
Those guys are awesome.
Jonah Hex. Banana Man says okay.
Okay.
Zoid Garth. I had just finished a Batman rewatch when this podcast started, so I didn't watch along with it. I got the Blu-ray of Superman, but I've held off watching so I could watch along with the pod. That is correct.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
That's ridiculous and awesome.
Clowntown 97. I could beat Superman. Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
Okay. Juan Pedro. Feels so weird that this isn't just about Batman anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, get used to it, baby. We got a big one from Nick Sorensen. And so we begin our adventures with Superman in the DCAU. It's obvious that Bruce Timm and crew were always going to have a pretty big undertaking when it came to following up their critical success of Batman the Animated Series with Superman, but for what it's worth, their efforts resulted in what still remains one of my favorite iterations of the Man of Steel to date. Unlike BTAS, however, we get to experience the series from the beginning. No original animated intro for this series, sadly. They wanted to do one like for BTAS, but weren't able to, so we'll have to settle with another clip intro like Adventures of Batman and Robin, with slight spoilers of future episodes. Shirley Walker's Superman theme, however, is fantastic, and it's just as much the iconic theme of the character for me as the one from John Williams, as far as I'm concerned. I agree with that. Brian, just before the episode, was like, I don't like this. I miss the Batman theme. I'm a jackass. That's what he said.
Word for word.
Yeah. We get our first introduction to Brainiac, who ended up becoming one of my favorite villains in the DCAU. I can save my thoughts for him on a later episode, but I like the idea that part of Krypton's downfall was in their hubris of putting all their trust into a flawed AI that has its own motives. Let's certainly hope we never get to that point, am I right? It was good of them to devote part of this episode to seeing Clark in his teenage years as he learns his true heritage, discovering his powers and how they can be used for good, and Jason Marsden always does such good in those teenage cartoon roles in general. It's not James Marsden, Brian, don't worry about it.
Oh, whoops, I thought it was James Marsden.
Fast forward to present time, and we get our oh, you got a drink, I'm not there, haha. And our first introduction to the city of Metropolis will be our main cast of characters for the series. Dana Delaney, great as Andrea in Phantasm, but I'm glad they got her back for Lois Lane because she was just perfect in that role. And Tim Daly will always be the voice I immediately think of for Superman, as much as Kevin Conroy was for Batman. Then we get into a whole conspiracy involving a new prototype exosuit being smuggled out by terrorists so Soups could have a cool mech fight. Like that final like that final confrontation scene with our benevolent Mr. Luthor setting up what would be his ongoing animosity towards our Man of Steel. All in all, not a bad introduction of the character as we begin to establish him in the larger DC animated universe, and things will only get more exciting from here. Yes, sir.
Sweet.
I like you laughing at Soups. You also laughed at Big Blue Boy Scout last time I was reading comments, and it completely glossed over my head because that's just one of his many like alias kind of deals, like not in universe, but just like people call him that all the fucking time. And I was just like, why is Brian laughing so? Oh, he's never heard this before.
Oh, out of context, these things sound stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about this. Yeah. Jarlid 97. We did it, boys. We're in Superman. I think it's the perfect time for us to jump on the super wagon. It's not called that. It's not called that.
Everybody keep calling it that. It makes James so angry.
It makes me so mad. Now Jamie's mad. Before watching these episodes, I wondered if I was going to have whiplash.
I did.
To the iconic ocean liner deco style of TAS. But in my opinion, the sleek style of this show that would come to define the rest of the DCAU still holds. I especially love Krypton, and we get to see more of it than one would expect. It isn't just some matte painting followed by a composite explosion like we so often see it. Krypton's destruction is beautifully animated, a sad beginning to a hopeful story. Honestly, there's so much I want to say because the show so often gets left behind in the discussion of the DCAU, and I wanted to get it to do. It's just it's not like forgotten, but it's like definitely like people are like, Batman's so good, Justice League's so good. There's some other ones. There's plenty of show left to talk about, so I'll keep my thoughts for later. Keep up the good work, Jamboree and Bongo Cat. P.S. I couldn't find a way to fit it in the comment. I just want to let you folks at the Watchtower database know that your Superman pre-production video is my favorite video you guys have done so far, and is what inspired me to finally do a full watch-through of TAS as opposed to scattered episodes here and there I'd caught before. It's thorough, engaging, and really conveys an infectious love for the source material. He didn't write that. I just made that up. I just wanted to make myself sound good. Also, anyone listening, you should watch the Blue Beetle video we just did.
Okay.
P.P.S. Shout out to my guy Tomar Ree, buying time for Jarrell to save his son and never getting any credit. He's a real one. That'll make sense to Brian so long from now. PPSS PP poo poo. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think it was Scotty that mentioned earlier, just because we started mentioning Watchtower database things. Scotty Cameron, I think, was talking about watching The Last Son of Krypton as a movie so that you don't have that like previously seen on. And it did make me think of, I think there's such artistry to being able to sum up a lot in a short amount of time. And I remember watching the storyline finale video about the multiverse, which you should watch on the Watchtower database. And James does such an impressive job of summing up like several years of storyline into like 2.5 minutes. And I was like, wow, fuck yeah.
Basil Leaf screams, I've been a lurker until now. I emerge into the light, but for real, these are very fun. I'm excited to be more active in the community. Welcome. Lots of new faces. I got a last couple here. Canon Atana. I had the exact same experience as James. Watching the first episode after having a kid just gets the waterworks going now. It's so painful to imagine giving up your child to save them, and the whole facing your doom in a loving embrace moment is so powerful. Yes, Dylan. I was thinking of you the whole time. I was like, what if I had to put Dylan in a rocket and shoot him away?
Don't worry, James. When Earth really explodes, we'll just explode together.
Okay, good. Well, in a loving embrace. Yeah. I'll be like, get out of here, family. I have to find Dylan Pollack. I have 5 minutes. He's the one listener. Wency209. Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's the Yoppie dudes. It only feels like yesterday when you guys first started Jump on the Bat-Wagon doing BTAS episodes, and now we're on to STAS. Man, I think it's how time flies by.
Time flies by.
Who time flies by. If you really think about it. You guys keep doing what you're doing. Stay Yoppie. Edit. Happy birthday, Dylan Pollack.
Thank you.
Hey. This is from Lanola Cola. New show, new plan. Since I haven't seen STAS before, aside from the one episode I caught last year on Teletoon, I'll actually watch the episode beforehand. And have you thought, yes, that's what you're supposed to do. Thank you. Have you thought of naming the Superman phase of I'm not even going to read that. On Superman's origin.
Keep them coming, folks. Keep them coming.
To go after an easy target. Not sorry, Snyderverse fans, but this is a rendition of Superman's origin done right. It focuses on Clark as the man part of his name rather than the super. As Pa Kent said best, it doesn't matter where you were born or what you can do, you'll always be Clark Kent. Superman just helps out now and then. Very true, very true. And the below message was meant to be an audio message, but I ran out of time, so here it is in text form. You see, Yoppie dudes, I own the sock puppet accounts. My technology built them, my will keeps it going, and the listeners, even Dylan Pollack, work for me whether they know it or not. Even you two have to admit it's a model of efficiency. And yet, I have often thought, why limit myself to one podcast? Dudes of your abilities could be useful to me on, shall we say, an unlimited scale. Why don't I join you on a podcast episode so we could discuss it? I appreciate the references. Serum Lake, first edit, I am sickened with myself for doing this. And then Mark Aquino, actual first. Fun and games or Toyman's got big duck energy. Now that we've established our boy Alphabet Soup, 3 episodes into the show, and already we get a highly anticipated showdown. Superman v. Duckman Private Dick. Big Blue also gets covered in a lot of Nickelodeon slime and becomes the Green Tasmanian Devil, a Mountain Dew tornado, a minty fresh twister, a whirlwind that leaves a distinct hint of lime. This episode may come off as a bit too cartoony for Brother Bricky Poo's taste, but I quite enjoyed it. He liked it, I think. For one thing, Bud Cort's performance as Toyman was suitably creepy, and that mask of his with the right kind of lighting can really stick in your mind. Probably the creepiest version of Toyman I've seen in media was the version in the direct-to-DVD Superman Doomsday animated movie from 2007, which Bruce Timm produced and has his aesthetic, but isn't canon with the DCAU. So James can talk about it to Brian, except not because we're going to watch that. Boss Biggest Bear Hugs. Boss Biggest Bear Hugs. The number one of the podcast hosted the multiverse, Jack in the Box, and Boogers in a Can.
Oh, God.
That's what the green stuff was. Praise to our Lord and Savior, Dylan Pollack. Keep up the great work on your own podcast. Likewise to his loyal disciples, all the names. I dig the new thumbnail art and especially the new outro, James. Smoother than your co-host, whose last name I just thought sounded like the word manly all this time.
Yeah, I get it a lot.
Brian Manley.
You should start going by Brian Manley. That does sound comically ridiculous.
I've got it so much through my life that I just can't. I don't know.
What was the Ryan McKeely or whatever?
Yeah.
The loudspeakers that one time.
Yeah.
It's also surprisingly sultry too. Like, damn, son, making me feel a certain type of way here. Like, who's trying to get into my red underwear? Anywho, I've had some time to think it through, and I've come up with a new smoke bomb closer. Now, whether or not this one sticks, I don't know. We'll see how it goes as the show progresses. James, I'm counting on you to really give it some oomph here. Okay. So until next week, big ol' whoosh. I just flew away. Big ol' whoosh. I don't fucking know. What do you want me to do?
No, I like you saying big ol' whoosh.
Big ol' whoosh.
Who does that work?
Yeah. Thank you, everybody. That's all the stuff. That's the show.
Man, that's a show, all right.
And remember, watch the episodes before you watch Jump on the Superwagon.
No?
Yeah. And remember, be sure to ask James why he's not changing the podcast title.
Yeah, I'll tell you all the time.
He loves it.
I like it. Next week's episode is called A Little Piece of Home. What do you think it's about?
Kryptonite.
You got it, baby.
Kryptonite's origin story.
Kryptonite's origin story.
Yes!
Yeah. You're so good at this.
Man, I'm really
well,
knocking
you
it
had
out
Superman's
of the park.
origin story, Superman versus Fun Man, basically correct, and Kryptonite's origin story. Yeah, we got it.
I think I'm going to stop guessing accurately after this point. Just because, like,
You're
I don't
just
want to
putting it
come
out there,
across
yeah.
as too good. So
yeah, it would be really cocky of you to do that.
it'd be
from
so
now on,
cocky
so.
of me.
The one after that, I don't think you're going to be able to.
Oh,
guess it.
I can. I'm just. Not
you just
going
choose
to.
not to. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, I understand.
He's actively not guessing them now.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
Yeah, 3 in a row is just like people are gonna be like, wait, he's seen these, so I have to get him wrong now. Like, what's the next one?
It's called Feeding Time. After that,
Yeah, that's the one where Superman goes to the petting zoo and he's just like putting the quarters in the little machine and he's feeding animals.
Oh man, you didn't get it right.
Oh god! Oh man, how did I get that so wrong?
Are we on
that was what happened?
Like, are we doing Inception here, where your prediction of your prediction is wrong?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thanks for being here, Dylan.
Thanks for having me, Jimbo.
I hope
Yeah.
you got to talk enough, because I know that the mail is just kind of a lot of me talking. So
That's what the people are here for, to listen to James. I know James. No Brian Manley.
Listen to James tell you that the podcast is called Jump on the Bat-Wagon, the end.
I mean, to be fair, we jumped on the Bat-Wagon and now we're just like watching Superman from the Bat-Wagon. It doesn't have to be the Superwagon.
Exactly.
But you should still suggest to James.
Because, jump on the Superwagon, that's a play on words of nothing. Stop it.
Keep going, everyone. Just
No.
keep going.
You sure you're okay?
Yeah. He was a sicko, Kent. But I can't help feeling sorry for him.
He was a loser. A walking freak show like his old man. This is one funeral I'll skip.
I'm not sure there's going to be a funeral. My people still haven't found a body. However, they did find this.
Jump on the Bat-Wagon is hosted by the Watchtower database. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for DC Animated Universe videos on a regular basis. This podcast is edited and produced by yours truly, James Strecker. Musical themes by Kimmy, Cooney Phoenix, Viltsu, and of course, my smooth co-host, Brian Brother Broderick Manili. To buy us a Yoppie beverage and hear your name read in a future episode, or to nab yourself a Yoppie Dude t-shirt, please visit the links in today's show notes. And thank you for supporting the show. You can hear more on today's DCAU episode by checking out our friends over on the DCAU Review and Timm Talk podcasts. Please leave us a 5-star review on your app of choice. You'll damn well hear it read on the show. And remember, if you'd like to reach out to us like the fire hand at the end of The Cat and the Claw Part 2, you can email batwagonpod@gmail.com or leave a comment on the Podtower. New episodes of Jump on the Bat-Wagon are released Fridays on all your favorite podcast feeds and watchtowerdatabase.com. And we'll see you next episode, same PP time, same poo-poo channel.